Committee, the State Statistician General, the MVP, Cocoa Association of Nigeria, distinguished directors here from various MDAs, heads of associations, commodity associations I see here, members of the multi-stakeholder committee, and most importantly, patriotic citizens, like the MC just said. Those of you that have recited the national anthem, stanza by stanza, I welcome you all. You will recall that this multi-stakeholder committee was inaugurated about 2 months ago. And we had highlighted all the thematic areas that we were going to focus on. Also, we have identified the steps that we will take to arrive at our goals. Part of those steps is what you see here. But let me, on that note, specially recognize a key development partner and a key partner for the success of the work that we're doing, which is the FAO, led here by Professor Shito Asini. One of the key gaps that we have had faced as a nation is the fact that a lot of times donor activities are usually not in alignment with government mandates. So what we have is donors come, they do their part, but there is no sustainability. So we have a lot of donor interventions without the sustainability on the other hand. What you see us demonstrating here is donor activity aligning with government aspirations. So it is worthy of note. I want to commend FAO for this activity, for supporting this activity, supporting Cross River State, because what they intend to do is to make sure that they warehouse all the interventions around cash crop, or what we call 3-crop development, so that whatever we do is in line with international best practices. And how best can we be best if we do not embark on capacity building? So that's what we're doing here today. I think various stages have been passed. We have done the scoping activity. We have started data capture. I know that there have been a lot of visits to areas of concern like farms, institutions, and things like that by the various subcommittees. And let me also use this opportunity to commend the secretaries. Where are the secretaries? Development partners that are working with us, even within the subcommittee, Solidaridad, Trace. I hope you people are here. All right, I welcome you all, and I thank you for the support thus far. God bless you, and I use this opportunity to declare this training workshop open in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Thank you very much, Mr. State. And this committee has been set up to help develop the strategic plan for these 3 commodities in the state. So I therefore have the honor of inviting the chair of the committee to just briefly tell us what this workshop is all about. So briefly tell us why we are here and what we hope to achieve at the end of that presentation.
Good morning, everyone. As we all know, the Cross River State government, through His Excellency, the Governor of the state, set up a committee to develop a strategic plan, each for cocoa, for oil palm, and then a roadmap for coffee development in Cross River State. And that committee has been on her work, gathering primary data and working through the processes with DEX reviews. That committee is right now at the stage of developing the vision, the mission, the strategic objectives of the strategic plan. And we thought it wise that we should have a training on strategic planning to be able to bring all of us into a uniform and common understanding of what we are doing. Therefore, the objectives of this workshop include the following. 1 is to build a common understanding among the committee members on the strategic planning process, particularly in the area of situation analysis, visioning, strategy setting, monitoring, and evaluation. Another objective of this training is to build and strengthen the institutional capacity within the Ministry of Agriculture and related ministries in the state. If we have a strategic plan on board for the state and the capacities of the ministries that will implement that plan is not built, it's as good as not having a plan. So therefore, we are gathered here to be trained on strategic plan implementation. Another objective is to provide a hands-on experience for all stakeholders. As we have introduced ourselves, we find out that we have people from different backgrounds here. So we are providing a hands-on experience on strategic planning. And the fourth, but not the last, not the least, is to build a strategic mindset and improve adaptability to changing environments. How is strategic plan done? What processes are involved in developing a strategic plan? 1, you need to do an environmental scanning or what is called situation analysis. You need to evaluate the sector that you are trying to set up goals for. You need to do a SWOT analysis of that sector. For instance, you are talking about the cocoa sector. What are the strengths that Cross River State has concerning cocoa and its production, and its marketing, and its processing? You need to do the weakness part of it. What are the weaknesses that have been observed in this sector? What are the opportunities that exist? And what are the threats to the system? When you're doing that, you're doing an environmental scanning or a situation analysis. Another tool that you can use to do that analysis is called the PEST. And then the PESTEL analysis. What does that mean? PEST and PESTEL. PESTEL means political, economic, social, technological, environmental, and legal factors. You need to find out those factors that affect the sector you're trying to build strategic plans for. So what are the political things around the cocoa sector or the oil palm sector? What are the economic matters or factors that determine the prices in cocoa? What are the social components of it? What is it about the technological? How developed is that sector in terms of technology? And then what are the environmental and the legal factors that affect that sector? So we have chosen to do a SWOT analysis for these sectors. We're not doing the PEST and the PESTEL.
This is the first time where development partners are actually working with the government to see that things actually go the right way. Before now, we see duplication and multiplication of activities, where one development partner will be doing the same thing the other development partner is doing in the same area without any records. I think we are going to get it right this period. I want to actually commend the Honorable Commissioner for Agriculture for this. And I should know that he's one man that once he takes a step, he's definitely going to succeed and achieve it.
want to start by saying that anybody who fails to plan is invariably planning to fail. In fact, we have this project, cocoa, coffee, and palm oil. We started, and we are at a very critical stage today, which is the development of the strategic plan. Without the strategic plan, we cannot achieve anything. With the strategic plan now, we have the objectives, we have the roadmap. It will give us the opportunity now to reposition ourselves. In fact,
the government and people of Cross River State, then the Commissioner of Agric and Irrigation, for his, I want to say, doggedness, initiative. He may not be a very loud person from the way I see him, but the actions are speaking. And able Prof, sincerely speaking, what we have even had this morning alone, if we were to take it somewhere else, see, it's like a new program. It's like a new program. Yes, for research, some of us are quite experienced in it. But I'm already selling, permit me or I didn't take your permission, I'm already selling the Cross River Initiative to other states. 2 weeks ago, we were in Enugu State. We told them what Cross River is doing, and they are very eager. The document has not come out, but they say Cross River is far ahead. We told them they are far. Cross River is far ahead. And please give it the publicity that it demands. Because we only know as researchers or scientists, when you underreport yourself, it's a damage you are doing to yourself. When you underreport what you are doing, especially when it has very huge relevance to the society, you are doing yourself. Please let this thing be given the maximum publicity that it requires, because it's already impacting. What we don't know is, before the document comes, you could begin to assess the impact of what you are doing. That one is on its own, is a study, no research, we get topics from everywhere. So this one alone is a special one that we are having today. It's giving us a clear-cut understanding of what we ought to do and where we are going to.
FOLUR is a set of tools and methods that can be applied to support participatory visioning and strategic planning. Okay, a brief overview of what I would like to present. So the objective is to introduce FOLUR, explain why it is relevant, and outline the ways it can build on and add to the existing multi-stakeholder platforms and processes that you're already operating, and to strengthen dialogue and strategic planning. So first I will summarise some key reasons why multi-stakeholder collaboration is essential to address interconnected sustainability challenges. This is followed by a brief introduction to FOLUR, including its development process, components and main steps. The main part of the presentation is to unpack the tools and methods that FOLUR offers to support multi-stakeholder dialogue and strategic planning. And finally, I will conclude by looking at FOLUR in the wider FOLUR context, bringing together the horizontal landscape approach with the vertical value chain perspective, and looking at the next steps for implementation of FOLUR in Nigeria. Okay, part one. So let's get started with some conceptual background on why multi-stakeholder collaboration is so important to address interconnected sustainability challenges. So this might not be new to many of you who are working at landscape scale, but it seems to be a very well-managed landscape, and the SDGs, the objectives, are being managed in harmony and synergy with one another. In another landscape, it might be a different case. It might be more the case of trade-offs. Okay, thinking about the previous image, why is multi-stakeholder collaboration so critical for effective ILM? So I'll offer a few reasons, although these are not necessarily the only reasons. So firstly, many ecosystem services, but also disservices, flow across landscapes without without regard to the boundaries of different landholdings. For example, you could think of pollination services or the movement of pests, diseases and natural enemies. These don't stop at the boundaries of different landholdings. So it's important to work together with your neighbours when managing the landscape. And in the Imagine Landscape report, you can see, unfortunately this is really beyond my technical understanding because this is the responsibility of other colleagues in the team. So what I can do is I can pass on the question to them and I can respond, if you like, via email with some more details there.
Understanding, okay, we can leverage on this, we can leverage on that. Now, let me use this opportunity to quickly bring out some key message that I think is important for us as strategic committee. At the committee planning the strategic plan for cocoa, oil palm, and coffee. The first is that we need to recognize that cocoa, coffee, and oil palm production does not exist in silo. It's existing within a broad landscape where what happens on the farm can affect what happens elsewhere and vice versa.
And I'd like to thank you for this very rare privilege. I'd like to say that I think it was probably speaking a while ago, thanking the Cross River State government for the commitment it's showing in terms of this strategic plan. For us, the governor is deliberate about what we're doing, and it's because of the fact that at some point someone has to take the bull by the horn in trying to set the pace in organizing and putting a framework that would endure and sustain and even outlive in a particular regime.
With the core objective of saying, for similar committees that were set in the past, that this particular one, the endpoints, should be something that will add value to the system. And honestly, so far I'm excited about this. And like the chairman of Forestry Commission has said, when you have a governor who has a direct focus on what he wants, he has a vision for the state. Once you have a vision for the state, you set up the right strategies and have people that will help you to execute those strategies.
It has to be achievable, it has to be relevant, it has also to be time bound. This gives us the acronym of SMART, S-M-A-R-T. Please let's go back to that slide. For the goal to be SMART, we said it has to be specific. That means that we should know exactly what we are saying about the goal we want to achieve. As we discussed for the various items or crops of interest, namely cocoa, coffee, and oil palm. What do we want to achieve specifically for cocoa? What
is strategic planning, and we are looking at strategy formulation. At the end of this workshop, when we are done, we should be able to know how to generate strategic options and alternatives, and also how to evaluate these alternatives and how to select your priorities, strategic priorities. We also look at strategic implementation planning. So when we come to the end of that section, you should be able to develop the action plan to support your strategy, and also be able to assign responsibilities and know how to manage the finances that comes with strategic planning.
So it's important that you make sure that it's successful, so that will not be accountable for wrong reasons. Number 3, whether we like it or not, after this experience and after what we are doing here, it will not be what the other people say, to be what you have done because you're part of it. I'll say that again. It will not be what the other people say, it's what you have done because you are part of the move. I trust that. And next time we'll also have pointers as we gather. In preparing for battle, I have always found that plans are useless, but planning is indispensable. Plans are useless, but planning is indispensable. That's the military man and former president of the United States of America. So, plans, he said, are useless, but planning is indispensable. Not because I was given instructions to use these slides, so I had to use wisdom to some important things will not be dropped. So, monitoring evaluation has cost considerations, and the commonly used tools are cost benefit.